Has anybody ever told you you're different now? Or you're not the same person that you used to be? Maybe you're not. Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm Dr. McCleary, licensed clinical psychologist and Navy veteran. My content is dedicated to educating veterans, service members, and their families about mental health. So if that's you, consider subscribing. It's no secret that trauma can affect how you feel, how you think, how you perceive things. But sometimes it can last so long that it actually changes who you are and your personality. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 ways that trauma and PTSD can affect your personality. In other words, who you are. The first way that trauma can affect your personality is built right into the diagnosis of PTSD. And that's persistent, negative thoughts about yourself, other people, and the world. In other words, I'm no good, I'm a piece of crap. Or other people are no good, other people are pieces of crap. Or even the world is no good, it is just a huge piece of crap. The next way that trauma can affect your personality is people can be very quick to react, and oftentimes quick to negatively react to something. Whether that is a loud sound, whether that is the way somebody is talking. Oftentimes, traumas are connected to different threats. And with people that suffer with PTSD, often they are sensitive to feeling threatened in multiple different scenarios. And guess what? If somebody feels threatened, they're going to bite back at you. Another way that trauma can affect your personality is oftentimes after a trauma, or for people that are dealing with PTSD, the last thing that anybody wants is for their trauma to happen again. So people will often go through great lengths to avoid different situations or different people or different types of people or conversations, all these types of things. Many times, and I wish this wasn't the case, people's traumas deal with other people. Maybe they did something, maybe something was done to them. So now individuals might be on the lookout for this all the time. So even if somebody is treating them nicely, they may be suspicious about that, because the last time somebody treated them nicely, they were stabbed in the back. Figuratively, sometimes literally. The next way that trauma can affect one's personality is a topic that I actually talk about a lot in my content, and that's avoidance. Oftentimes, the worst thing that somebody could possibly imagine is their trauma happening again. And thus, people avoid things both internally and externally to keep themselves safe, which makes total sense. However, oftentimes people go great lengths to keep themselves safe. Maybe they used to be really outgoing, but now, in order to keep themselves safe, they don't go where there's anywhere with a crowd. Well, that's different. Maybe they don't go to movie theaters, concerts, the mall, even though that might have been their favorite place prior to the trauma. Maybe somebody was real outgoing or friendly prior to the trauma, but now they're more standoffish. Now, maybe they even are quick to anger because they don't want people getting too close to them. Another way that trauma can change who you are. If you're getting value from this content, go ahead and smash that like button. Or if you're not, why are you still watching? The last way that I'm going to talk about where trauma can affect your personality is sometimes post-trauma, individuals have a hard time accessing and expressing emotions. So some people may be overly expressive and reactive. Other people might be more drawn in. Some people even have a hard time understanding how they even feel or if they feel anything. Our personality, who we are as a person, our perceptions of ourselves, other people in the world, are largely based on our experiences. And trauma is no exception to that. Trauma just often has a big T attached to it. But when you start changing a lot of things in your life solely based off one experience and not based off all the rest of the experiences in your life, you might find yourself in a place that you don't want to be. Now, I know what you want to ask. Hey, doc, okay, that's all great. But how can I tell if these changes are because of my trauma and PTSD? Or is this just me? Great question. And it's tricky to figure out, but not impossible. I want to give you 2 quick tips on how to potentially tell the difference. One is, I want you to ask yourself, when you're thinking something, when you're doing something, is it because you want to do that? Or do you feel like you have to do that? With avoidance, this comes up all the time. Somebody might actually want to be in a crowd, go to a concert, to the movies, whatever. Another person might not like going to a concert at all. And it might not have anything to do with the trauma. So something to think about is, well, why are you doing certain things? Are you doing it to avoid things and to stay safe? Are you doing it because you actually want to do those things? First tip. My second tip for you is to get some PTSD treatment. Although changes in thoughts and emotions are symptoms of PTSD, they're not the only symptoms of PTSD. So if you are suffering with traumatic loss and trauma and it's shaken up your life, or you've even been diagnosed with PTSD, a great way to figure out if this is just you or if it's your trauma is to actually get some help with your trauma. And if things start to change, if your perception of yourself, other people in the world starts to change for the better, well, that's a clue that maybe some of those thoughts were connected to the trauma. Something to think about. If this video was helpful for you, and I hope that it was, please like it or consider subscribing to my channel if you want to learn more about PTSD and mental health. But more important than that, if this video was helpful for you, well, that means it can probably be helpful for another veteran or another friend or a family member of a veteran. So I ask that you share it with them, because at the end of the day, that's really what all this is about. One veteran trying to help another.